An hour consumed by gears and code, where artificial minds have freely roamed. The essence of our souls begins to fade as human presence slowly starts to wane.
It's hard not to have noticed the changes that have occurred in video making over the past year, and particularly within the last few months, and how the label of AI, artificial intelligence, appears almost everywhere. The things that we are able to do today are simply quite staggering, and only a couple of years ago would have seemed impossible. Take, for example, the removal of background sound from noisy recordings. In the past, the best that could be done was to apply filters to minimize the offending noise, but that was usually at the cost of losing some of the original quality. Today, AI is capable of deconstructing the audio and then reconstructing the required parts. This is an 11 Labs demo removing extreme background noise.
Need to remove background noise from your video?
11 Labs successfully removed wind noise in my piece to camera in our Pathfinder's Great Lie video. Stem splitters today can extract various instruments from music. This is one that has 20 options for deconstruction and extraction. This was the original audio track. Now simply the acoustic guitar. The voice.
Shattered glass and bloodstain. Devil was such a good disguise.
And finally the track with the voice removed. I selected this particular piece because the voice swamps the music in places, and the software would need to reconstruct parts of the backing track. As you can hear, it does a good job. Not only can AI deconstruct sounds, but there are programs that can create music, such as Suno. This can create original music and voices from either a text prompt or from an audio input. The opening and closing music tracks for The Great Lie were entirely generated using Suno, as was the opening music track for this video. I recall seeing heated debates on the internet less than 2 years ago about whether computers would ever be able to create music. Many thought it impossible. Today the results are stunning, and these are only the early versions. Updates and improvements are coming all the time. And today even voices can be cloned. In this example from The Great Lie, I wanted to shorten a sentence spoken by Kathy. This was the original.
Packed and weighed in the presence of customs officials in the long tobacco sheds.
And I wanted to cut it here.
In the presence of customs officials.
To me it sounded quite abrupt and is an obvious edit. The inflection's wrong.
Customs officials.
11 Labs cloned just 40 seconds of Kathy's voice and regenerated the last 2 words with improved inflection. This was the result.
Weighed in the presence of customs officials.
It is very subtle, but speaking as an editor, it's also essential. AI can also lend a hand with images. For example, correcting out of focus videos, again once thought impossible. Or upscaling and improving older images, together with automatic colorizing, such as this. Or even removing objects in videos that aren't required. Creating lip syncs in videos has not been easy until now. The Great Lie video has a clip of me looking to camera that I wanted to lip sync with my introductory words.
I'm in a field in Church Crookham in Hampshire.
AI software fixed it. I also wanted to animate this still image, but Tim thought it might have been a bridge too far.
The average person will say that it is impossible for tobacco to be grown under the gloomy skies of this country.
It probably was, so it wasn't used, but it's still very impressive. All of this AI is really great for us video makers, for very little cost, and in many cases it's free. We can enhance and expand our video making horizons beyond anything thought possible only a few years ago. but it does make me wonder who is paying for it. And perhaps more importantly, why is there a sudden explosion of AI? Why has AI suddenly gained so much traction? A brief look back into history perhaps offers some clues. The dream of creating automated devices has fascinated humanity for centuries, and the concept perhaps even predates mankind itself. In Greek mythology, Hephaestus, the god of fire and metallurgy, was said to have created mechanical servants and golden maidens to assist him. And then there was Hero, a Greek engineer and mathematician, who designed and built several automated devices. They included the first known vending machine, which dispensed holy water. In the 15th century, Leonardo da Vinci designed a mechanical knight that could sit, wave its arms, and move its head and jaw. Though it is unclear if he ever built it, it showed an advanced understanding of human anatomy and mechanical systems. And in the 18th century, Pierre-Jacques Droz, a Swiss watchmaker, created 3 highly sophisticated automated dolls. The writer could write sentences, the draftsman could draw pictures, and the musician could play a mini organ. These early examples illustrate humanity's long-standing fascination with creating mechanical beings capable of performing tasks, and each one at their time would have appeared as a marvel. But it wasn't until the 20th century and the advent of computers that artificial intelligence seemed to be truly possible. Many of us might recall the time in 1997 when IBM's chess-playing computer, Deep Blue, defeated world champion Garry Kasparov. It was a pretty momentous occasion, and illustrated the power of computers. At that time, it was thought that artificial intelligence had arrived, but by today's standards, we would see it as a clever program following a set of strict rules and utilizing brute force computations. To illustrate how Deep Blue worked, imagine a massive library filled with every possible book on how to play chess and the various moves. When playing a game, all these books are searched to find the best move that matches where the pieces are currently on the board. That's what Deep Blue did. It didn't understand chess in the way that humans do. Instead, it used a set of programs and brute force to search through a vast number of possible moves very quickly to find the best one. It was very impressive, but it faced huge limitation problems when trying to scale it beyond just its single task of playing chess. Real-world problems have an exponentially large search space, and the amount of computing power, the amount of memory required, the time involved in the searches, and the amount of energy required for real-world problems also grows exponentially. Worse, the system is static, meaning that new information, uncertainty, or incomplete information are not managed. Real-world tasks require efficiency, adaptability, creativity, scalability, and the capability to handle uncertainty. In a nutshell, proper AI requires a radically different approach. In 2016, a team from Google's DeepMind developed AlphaGo, a machine built around neural networks that was trained to play the popular game of Go, and the world's leading player, Lee Sedol, was challenged to a 5-match tournament. Go is a far more complex game than chess, with many more positions and many more moves per player. Chess typically has 40 moves per player, whereas Go can have as many as 300, resulting in a much bigger, branching tree. And the method of winning is a unique capture system. This complexity made it a daunting task for a computer, and it was clear that an inflexible brute force system simply wouldn't work. The matches were closely followed by both TV and the public. AlphaGo won the first game. Then in the second, at move 37, it was thought that AlphaGo had made a terrible mistake.
It's just a big shock. What? Normally human will never play this one because it's bad.
However, any elation from Lee Sedol's supporters was short-lived when AlphaGo went on to win the game. It transpired that move 37 was pivotal to the success. The aftermatch analysis revealed that far from being a bad move, move 37 was considered to be incredibly inventive, as the move had revealed entirely new strategies. Even the Google engineers seemed surprised at such creativity. It was more than they had expected to get from their machine. AlphaGo itself had estimated that only 1 in 10,000 humans might have made that move. AlphaGo subsequently won the tournament 4 games to 1. Unlike the approach made by Deep Blue 19 years earlier, AlphaGo had learned how to play the game. To go back to the earlier chess example of books in a library, imagine someone who has learned to play chess by studying millions of games played by humans and learned their patterns and strategies. They then played millions of games against themselves, continuously learning from their mistakes and successes. Now they don't need books to look up every possible move. Instead, they use their experience, together with probabilistic and adaptive approaches. This is exactly what AlphaGo did, and in doing so beat a world champion. Move 37 became a legendary landmark for two reasons. Firstly, because of the impact it had on the game of Go and how it opened up many more strategies and opportunities. Secondly, and probably more significantly, Move 37 showed that a system based on neural networks and deep learning had the potential to elevate itself into the realms of creativity. It was the first high-profile demonstration of the power of an AI system. From these two very different examples, IBM in the 1990s and AlphaGo in 2016, it is possible to define AI in the 21st century as a learning system. That is a system that does not rely on a rigid set of rules, but instead learns from data, can recognize patterns, make predictions, improve itself over time with experience, and produce creative output. Several significant people involved in AI had already realized the enormity of the work and raised concerns that control of AI within any one corporation or even country could have a harmful impact on humanity. In December 2015, a group of prominent entrepreneurs and researchers, including Elon Musk, Sam Altman, Ilya Sutskever, Greg Brockman, Wojciech Zaremba, and John Schulman, formed OpenAI, a foundation whose objective was to keep AI open and accessible to everyone. And in 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT to the world. Within a short space of time, the major players to emerge were OpenAI, Google, xAI, Anthropic, Meta, Mistral, plus a raft of smaller companies who are able to build their proprietary systems on AI architecture, and of course the established players such as Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, and Nvidia. And now a much bigger picture emerges. It becomes clearer that the AI we use in our video making are trifling when compared to the level of research taking place around the world. In 2015, the starting gun was fired in the race to attain what was originally called AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, that is now referred to as Artificial Superintelligence, ASI, and that has triggered a cascade of seriously big money investments. OpenAI and Microsoft are working on a $100 billion supercomputer campus due to complete in 2028. Amazon and Microsoft have invested a combined $15 billion in startups. Saudi Arabia has a $40 billion AI initiative. Microsoft, Alphabet and Meta plan to spend $1 trillion, and Sam Altman from OpenAI is lobbying investors and the US government for a $7 trillion investment in hardware and services over several years. Now we know where the investments are coming from and why there has been such an explosion of AI recently. It's apparent that great leap forward in the AI systems that benefit us as video makers are simply the spin-offs from the journey to superintelligence. And why do I think that this is that journey? There is one last piece of evidence. In June this year, Ilya Sutskever left OpenAI to set up a new company called SSI, Safe Superintelligence Inc., that has a one-shot goal, to create a safe superintelligence. There will be no distractions on the journey and no interim releases. It is focused on safe superintelligence and nothing else. Ilya Sutskever is an optimist who believes that ASI will be massively beneficial to the human race, solving many of our problems, diseases, employment, poverty. But he is also conscious of the risks it can pose, especially in warfare, and has concerns about its application. In particular, he wants to ensure the tight alignment of human values with those of artificial intelligence. He believes that superintelligence is within reach, and the frantic activity, the massive technological leap forward in only a few months, coupled with the multi-trillion-dollar investment, strongly suggests that he could be right, that that the world might be very close to achieving ASI. Robots aren't new to manufacturing, they have been around for years. This real video was made by Boston Dynamics in 2020. What is newer are the flexible and more mobile versions. Only 4 years later, this is what we are now seeing. This real video shows the latest development from OpenAI's Figure 2 and Tesla's Optimus robots. Some are already out in the field, working on BMW cars, being trained and tested in Amazon warehouses, and of course building Teslas. We are living at the beginning of a major technological revolution. Already a purchase price is being attached to these robots of as little as $16,000, which means they could be as widespread as they are in the Will Smith film I, Robot. Human history is being shaped right now, far more so than at any time previously. We have created a system that doesn't rely on a set of rules and instructions. We designed it to think for itself, and that's exactly what it does. It is effectively a black box. As Sam Altman admitted in May of this year, we certainly have not solved interpretability. None of which should surprise us. After all, it's just like a human brain. I hope that this video has given an insight into why AI isn't just another piece of software, and why I believe it will be life-changing for us all. It's something to ponder the next time we utilize the latest AI program in our video creation. And perhaps it will inspire those who have been intrigued to undertake more research into AI and ASI. This is Jim Reed, or rather, his cloned voice, signing off and thanking you for your attention.
An hour consumed by gears and code, where our official minds have freely roamed. The essence of our souls begins to fade as human presence slowly starts to wane. Once we were the singers, the poets of life. Our emotions flow like a river of light. But now the songs are hollow, the words are cold, as the machines take over what we once held. Can you hear the echoes of humanity in the silence, longing for what used to be? Oh, the soul, the emotion, we're losing our ground in this lounge of machines where our